Everyone, I know most of you. Richard was, I guess, an old new friend to see him again. Leo. I'll remember it by the end of the meeting.
Okay.
Leo is the new commander of 619. I'd like to call this department convention to order. Officer of the Day, will you please open the altar? Would everyone please rise? Thank you. Chaplain, will you read the opening prayer?
Dear Lord, as we start our meeting, we ask that you help us in seeking a persistent quest for knowledge. May we strive to keep America free from ignorance, prejudice, oppression, and strife. Keep our officers ever mindful of the high purposes to which they are dedicated. May their actions reflect strength and wisdom. We ask that you grant us strength when we are weary, hope when we are discouraged, patience and perseverance when we face any obstacles. Amen. A moment of silence for our departed.
Thank you.
You want to sit in here?
No, I'm sitting here.
Amen. Thank you. Now let's salute the colors. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Two. Thank you. You may be seated. First, I'd like to acknowledge our past commanders, Sir Richard Ashkenazi, Jesse Gersten, Mel Lou Kelter, and our guests, I would assume our Bernie Kaplan. He's never sitting with, where's, oh, there it is. Bernie was sitting at that table before. So, and Nelson. And,
Should we start over?
okay. They all in the past have done a superb job. I thank all our past commanders. And now we have, Harriet, are you a patron?
I am.
Then I guess you're not considered a guest, but welcome.
Thanks.
And Shirley, I know you're a patron, so welcome. And Ruth, you also, thank you. Yes,
My wife, Betty Baker,
Betty.
is a patron for 201.
thank you. And I appreciate that you made it up here to represent your post. I didn't see the results of your election, so I assume you're still the quartermaster?
The officers have not changed at all, and we just did an acclamation thereof.
Very good.
through these years.
That's the easiest way to do it. There'll be a few changes in the department, so I'm happy to say that. Now, this is the second time I've invited a guest speaker from the Arizona Department of Veteran Services, and this is also the second time they never showed up. So you know I will be writing them a very nice letter asking what happened. And as a matter of fact, I went there Thursday to remind the speaker that he had an appointment with us today, and he was in a meeting, so he could not talk to me directly. So this is very disappointing. But it means I get to talk longer as the commander's message.
Wait till I see him tomorrow morning, I'll straighten him out. We had a table of
He doesn't work on
extra time for you.
Sundays.
No, he said he would make it to the meeting. He was recently promoted to deputy director, but that's still no excuse for not showing up today. If you see on the table over here underneath the I think it's 39-star flag. We have some brochures from the that I picked up at UAV meetings. Now, I attend the Unified Arizona Veterans Association for the Jewish War Veterans. They know me there because I'm the only one that wears this hat when they say the opening and closing prayer. One of the things, I don't know if you saw it, where are the Arizona's 520,000 veterans? Said at Veterans Day this year, I think our post was the only one that showed up. We participated in the wreath ceremony, but there are about 5,000 people at the ceremony. If we have over 500,000 veterans in Arizona, how many of them go to Veterans Day to the National Cemetery, or Memorial Day go to the National Cemetery? I know there's one in Tucson also. Good morning, Gabe. So this is just something to let you know, and I believe this was one of the articles from Art Sloan, who is not doing very well.
Is that right? That's not right, those are.
This article is not from Art Sloan?
He hasn't written.
No, this is a rather old article from 17.
He hasn't written the one.
Yeah, in about 2 years. I hope everyone is familiar with the Jewish news. What I'm bringing these points up is we need publicity. We need people to know that we are out there. Our post had Jewish veterans reflect on services, solidarity during Memorial Day. These are simple publicity things that you can do. I know 194 is now publishing when their meetings are in the Jewish news. We publish when our meetings and when and where our meetings are held. Just simple ideas for your to do. It doesn't cost anything to get those meetings. It's a paragraph. Talk about what your post does. They're happy to put it in. We're trying to get a veterans column in the Jewish news, if not the Jewish news, into Jewish Life magazine. So we have monthly contact with anyone that may be interested. Now, I know recruiting is terribly hard. We have 7 members of my congregation that are veterans that don't want to go to meetings, don't want to join Jewish War Vets. Why don't they want to join Jewish War Vets? I don't know. One guy was a TI, and he did not want to join Jewish War Vets. I guess he liked to yell at people instead of having them cooperating. So, TI is a training instructor, in case you didn't know.
They play golf.
There is a new policy in the Veterans Hospital here in Phoenix. It is a no smoking in the facility hospital. They have, I think, 2 designated smoking areas outside the hospital, and they're using the police to enforce this policy. I don't know if they're going to be arresting people, giving them notices, but it is a very strict no smoking policy. Now, I hope everyone has gotten the notification from the Department of Veteran Services. There's a new Veterans ID card. I don't have, you go to U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs, new Veterans ID card to get, to apply for this card. It shouldn't be any problem to get it.
You mean online?
Go online to get it, yes. If you don't have a computer, it's extremely
If you
difficult.
want your DD 214 or not sure.
With the difficulty, I will do it.
I don't know if you're aware of the Million Vet Project. It's sponsored by Department of Veteran Affairs, but you can go to the Veterans Hospital outpatient clinic to get information on the Million Vet Project. They want about a teaspoon of your blood to check your genetic, your genes. They put it into a data bank for research, and then you will receive a yearly letter of what research the Million Vet program is doing.
Excuse me, Mike.
Yes.
What's that website again that you go to?
U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs.
Okay, thank you.
And then, I guess, you'll see, it will say someplace on there, new veteran ID card.
Okay.
It should be relatively easy to get. I almost forgot,
Commander,
yes,
you brought up the DD 4214s. Let me pass something on to everybody. Those that have gotten out about the same time around, probably the same time I did. You got 2 pages. The second page looks almost the same as the front page, except for one thing. Down at the bottom, it says type of discharge and then condition of discharge. How I found out about this, that there was a problem, is when I was nominated for the Arizona Veterans Hall of Fame, I only sent them the top copy, not the bottom, the second one, and they couldn't prove that I was honorably discharged.
I was not even aware of that myself.
So I pass that on to everyone for ratification. Next time you submit a DD 4214, if it's 2 pages, make sure you send the second page as well.
Thank you. All right. Free art classes for veterans. If you're not aware of this, this art class is in Cave Creek, but it's offered by the Sonoran Arts League Center for, I'll try to get this information online, but a telephone number for this information, whether they have them in Cave Creek or in Phoenix or in Scottsdale. They may even have them in Tucson, but the phone number for this is 480-575-6624. I'm also going to put this information on the table over there if someone is interested in art classes for veterans. It's something interesting and should be fun to do. All right, I got a notice from National as a department commander. It said, "What are your posts doing for Memorial Day?" Well, I knew what our post was doing, and it was very active, so we were able to send him that newspaper article, and that satisfied him. But when you go back to your posts, please ask them, what are we going to do for Veterans Day? We will be having another ceremony at the National Cemetery. There will probably be something in Wesley Bowlin Plaza at the World War I Memorial. But think about, what are your posts doing to help veterans? Not just veterans in need, but fellow veterans, because I'm sure everyone can use a new friend. Gabe, we got plenty to eat at the table over there. The first time I met Gabe, she gave me her, I guess, lottery tickets to see if she was a winner, and she had to get out to go to another meeting, and she wasn't there, but she won. So she said, just put the money into the can for your poppy drive. So I'll never forget you. All right, that's about all the events that I can think of at this time. Yes, Lee?
Talk about doing something with our veterans. Well, I have to move, not that I wanted to, but I have to move. And the boys down at Banner House, all they keep saying to me is, "Lee, what can we do for you?" They want to do something for me. Well, I was ailing at the time, and I still had to move, and they went into my house, and they moved me. I wasn't even there. They picked that place clean, put everything in the boxes, took it over my new residence. Just as kind as could be. They were so thrilled to do something for me. One, it was good for me, but it was good for them. They were able to give back. I think it was a good chance for them to show their appreciation and also activate them. They weren't sitting around watching TV, and they were sharing with another veteran. And I was glad that they were able to do that, because I think it was good. It was great for me, but I think it was really good for them. These are things that we have to think about. This is good ways to use them.
Absolutely.
They're there and they want to share. So there's something to think about, that it's just not there where we can go and do something for them physically, or giving them money or buying things or something. They can do something there.
Thank
There
you.
may be something to do on Veterans Day. Think about it, maybe some of the boys can do something.
Mel, do you have a quartermaster's report?
Yeah. We had a little problem from the GoDaddy. They refused to take a check made out to GoDaddy. So Nelson was kind enough to bring me a check, bring me that check today, and I replaced it.
please.
And they only take credit
Yeah, we're
cards.
having a hard time hearing you.
Okay. The only problem we had this year is we wrote a check to GoDaddy for the website, and Nelson sent it in and they refused to take a check. So Nelson was kind enough to return the check. We replaced the check. I made it out to Nelson, and Nelson put it on his credit card. So as of today, we have $21,892.02 in our treasury, which is a little more than what we had when we started. And this will be my last act. Jonathan Sorrell is going to be taking over as quartermaster. So,
Thank you. That's the exact price for 5 people to go on a around the world cruise. Perfect. Now I just have a simple question. How many of you go to the JWVSW.org website? Nelson was able to publish our meeting, our last meeting, and I wanted to thank Nelson for doing that. It is certainly beyond my capabilities, and I thought it came out excellent. So thank you, Nelson. All right, Post 194, do you have a post report, what your activities have been? Mike?
Are we in old business or what?
Yeah, we're in post reports right now.
Most board activities.
We had our dinner, but you attended, you could give it, you could give it over.
Okay. Post 201?
We have been active, even though our numbers are dwindling. Right now, we kept the officers the same. Commander Jerry Small, Senior Vice is me, and no Junior Vice, no
Adjutant.
But we're still going strong. I understand. I was not there this time, but I know we did pretty good on poppies this year. The few days that we were able to do it before Memorial Day, and they did do wreath presentations at East Lawn Cemetery and Evergreen Cemetery.
Very, very good, thank you.
And we have still been continuing with bingo. We have been giving out approximately $40 to $44 each month to over about 13 patients over the VA hospital in Tucson. And the post is already approved, and I've got to write the check, find out where the check's got to go. Money's for the Floor Chaplain Service, Project Exodus, and the military lounge at the passenger at the TIA, Tucson International Airport. And that's also going through the Tucson Veteran Affairs Committee.
Thank you. Well, you just mentioned the Tucson Veterans Hospital. I don't know if you've read the article in the Arizona Republic. Our Carl Hayden Veterans Hospital received 1-star accommodation, which is like getting a D on your report card. The one in Tucson got 4 stars, which is the highest rating. They have been rated high for I don't know how long.
Every year.
I would think every year. It's really steady administration. They know what they're doing. This one, the administrators always talk to have a perception problem, that they got a few bad eggs. But there's a lot of cracked eggs in that hospital also. When they complain about cleanliness, that's something very easy to correct. And one of the major faults was the cleanliness of the hospital. So not even talking about the operating room or the patient's rooms. It's disappointing. All right, thank you. 210, I guess I'll give the report for 210. We had, I think, 9 people go out for poppy drives this time. We're very happy with their poppy drive. We just had a Quilts of Valor ceremony, which 4 or 5 of us received Quilts of Valor.
4 out of 6.
4 out of 6. 2 people couldn't attend the meeting for medical reasons.
Where'd you get a quilt?
We were given a quilt.
Yes.
It's quite an honor, and they physically
Yeah,
wrap the
yeah.
quilt around you.
Those are all handmade.
Yeah, it's quite emotional and very moving, so that Quilts of Valor did honor our post. If you need information for your post to have veterans be honored, you can talk with Jonathan. He was our liaison to the Quilts of Valor, and it's a very, very moving ceremony. Yes?
They did honor the Veterans First, which is the women's division, and Joan Cisco did get her quilt, and she was most deserving of it.
Oh, absolutely.
But, the women's group did get honored.
Very good, thank you.
They also give you a medal and a certificate.
Yes. I'm not even sure where my certificate is. My wife probably took it. But the medal, I was going to wear it today, and I have it hanging on the wall in my bedroom, because I was just so proud of it. 619. Leo.
Okay. We're aging out. All of our members who have been active up to now are reached the point of exhaustion, and we have no source of new members. Retirement community in some ways there, and those who are contracted, have been invited to join. We publish a note in the congregation's bulletin. We send a member to the Memorial Day service that was sponsored by the Korean War veterans. We have 1 or 2 volunteers who organize the poppying at the various different marketplaces, but they're exhausted, so to speak. Tomorrow will be our executive board meeting. We did not have a quorum last time. It's possible we will not have a quorum this time. And it's very exhausting. We have a junior vice commander who seems to be very interested. We have a senior vice commander who seems to be very interested. And we are hoping that we'll be able to pass the baton on to them.
Very, very
That's what
good.
we have.
Yes, it's so important to think about your future.
Michael, I
Yes.
just wanted to add to that. We do support the organization US Vets, as many of you know. And they, in their kindness, because of our support of US Vets, they did invite us to participate in a little thank you service. This was several weeks ago. And we did participate in that. I thought that was very nice, with the idea that we're going to be continuing our support of US Vets.
US Vets has the 2 homes, one on
Right.
Jones Place and one on Grand Avenue.
On Grand Avenue.
Do you
Yeah, that's
physically
where-
go out there to help them?
Yes, we do.
Very, very good. Thank you very much. Yes, Jerry.
Ask whoever's speaking to go to the microphone.
Didn't you hear?
Why don't you come up to the microphone?
Don't do that. Don't do that.
All right, now I'll ask. Thank you, commanders, for your reports. Yes,
I want to add into 194's. 194 has the Lieutenant Colonel David Geigerman Award, which is basically JWV Award, Americanism Award. It's passed out to,
Microphone so I can hear what he's saying, please. Use the mic.
they can't hear me?
Right.
That's unbelievable.
You're getting old now.
goes.
Just hold it, I'll stand up. Oh, boy.
Sit down, Nelson. Give him the phone, give him the microphone. He can't hear you.
Good man, good man.
Okay, now can you hear me?
Yes.
Jerry?
Thank you.
Okay. Post 94 has this award for Americanism, and we award a scholarship to, out of, there's 10 schools, and there will be an 11th school coming up because they're building it in Phoenix. And we've been doing this for ever since I can remember, and I've been here for 13 years. And if you will go onto the website, you can see a picture of 8 of the 10. I only had 8 pictures. There's a picture of the 8 kids who received the awards. And we can be proud of our kids here in Phoenix. They participate. And if you go down, you can see that there's a lot of kids in the junior ROTC program. And this year, the scholarship is $450. And the medals are provided by the Post. The family of the Colonel Geigerman gives the award, the monetary award. So that has been going on each year, and if you go onto the website and look at the newsletter from JWV, and right now there's 3 of the Posts who provide newsworthy information online that you could see what the other posts are doing. And it's commendable, and this really shows what's going on in the posts, more so than we get up here and we forget half of it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Commander, something I did forget to mention. We had the award ceremony, volunteer appreciation thing. Okay. If people can't hear me, I'm going to correct. We had the VA hospital in Tucson had the volunteer appreciation banquet, dinner and awards. The combined of all the donations and volunteer hours, they received a figuratively check of over $4 million to the VA hospital. And we had one individual there that had over 55,000 cumulative hours. I personally received a certificate for 9 years and 1,374 hours. Two other members of our post, one received a $1,000 pin, the other one received a 750-hour pin. And we do get recognized as members of the Jewish War Veterans. And there is also a Jewish War Veterans, I guess you framed plaque, something like that thing up there on the wall. It says Jewish War Veterans is in one of the main hallways of the hospital.
Thank you very much, Yesher Koach. If you are not aware, I think in the late 1950s, Post 194, which was the only post at the time, put up a Jewish war veterans memorial statue in Wesley Bowlin Plaza. I salute every one of you that is here today, and especially Post 194 on that one. All right, now we're going to move on. Is there any other old business to bring up? All right, we're going to start with Jerry Beck.
Everybody hear me okay?
No.
Yeah? No? You can't hear me?
Speak into the microphone.
Hello, is that better?
Yes.
You know, one thing you never want to do if you're on a plane and you see a friend jacked on the other side of the plane, you don't want to say, "Hi, Jack." Some people get it, some people don't. Whatever happens, what happens, over there. So, a few things. I just hijacked the stage this time. All right, Commander? All right. First thing is, I did spend time at the VA hospital many times.
Mr. Mike, I can't hear you.
I spent many times at the VA hospital in Tucson, and the blind support group is second to none in the world. If you want me to talk more about that, I will, but if you have a visual impairment and you can get to Tucson, please. I can't say enough about it. So I have some tickets today for the women's basketball. It starts at 3 o'clock. They're complimentary. Anybody want to go? It's the at the Talking Stick reservation, Talking Stick Arena. All right, no more jokes. I want to get to what the commander talked about a few moments ago about, I think he said membership, publicity. And I'm a supporter of Abad, but to illustrate what I'm trying to say, Willie Sutton, was that the guy's name? How many people heard of Willie Sutton? Nobody. Willie Sutton was a bank robber, and they asked him why he robbed banks. He said, because that's where the money is. So if we want to get members, I think we have to go where the Jewish veterans are. Does that make any sense? No? I mean, I want some feedback, please.
Okay, where are they?
Where are they? That's a good question. They're all over. There's how many
Over
veterans?
500,000 veterans.
500,000. I think there's more.
Jewish.
But I want to, please talk back, because I'm not meant, I don't want to be provocative, but I am going to be, I think. I'm learning how to communicate, that's not a joke. What was your question? Where are they?
Where are the Jewish veterans?
Well, women also, National Guard and so forth. There's lots of Jewish people all over the valley, all over the state. We make post 194, I'm digressing, post 194, we make a Hanukkah party every year in the CLC, the Community Living Center. It used to be called the nursing home. Now it's the CLC, and we make a Hanukkah party, not a Christmas party, a Hanukkah party. And one year we picked up 2 members. One was from Cottonwood, and one was from Beth Israel. They came to us. We didn't go to them. But we have to go out to them. I don't, you know, I'm not a Torah scholar, but that's what we have to do. We have to go out to the Jewish people and find them, and go through Kelter for 5 years to get them to join. You have seven in your congregation. You can't ask them once. Did you ever see an ad on TV for Ford Motors? How many times do they advertise for Ford? Okay, so to get a little more provocative. No, I have some ideas. So one thing is, in years past, and you can find the minutes.
Speak into the mic.
You can find the minutes maybe 35 years ago where we invited senators and congressmen to speak on behalf of veterans and what they're doing in Washington about veterans affairs. So somebody that says we can't invite these people to our meetings, well, I think National will decide that. But in the meantime, if we do it and it's done, so we have somebody that we can bring to a meeting, a department meeting or post meeting, and get some publicity out of it. That's what we want, free publicity. I have a question. Does the department exist because of the post, or the post exists because of the department?
Speak into the microphone.
Does the department exist because of the post, or does do the posts exist because of the department? It's meant to be provocative. Nobody got an answer.
Yeah.
What?
You need a post before you
Department
get
just
the
because of posts.
What was the answer?
Both.
Both.
Both. So let
It's
me
a
ask
two-way
you,
street.
it's a two-way street. Well, let me ask you, if there's only one post, do we need a department?
Yes.
Okay, so the answer is, we exist because of each other. We used to have an auxiliary, and they would provide some publicity. In any event, we need to shake some things up. Why I'm asking about the department, what does the department do? What does the department do besides hold these meetings and a convention? No answer.
One of the answers is we disseminate information from national to the posts.
Okay,
Things
we
like the
disseminate.
information on that table. I pass out information.
Right, okay. I'm gonna ask a question, I am trying to be polite. What are we doing publicity-wise, department-wise? All right.
No, we don't do any publicity,
Why?
because we want the posts to do the publicity, so the posts get the members. The
Why can't you
department
do
doesn't
some
need-
publicity
The
for us?
department
Why
does
don't, we pay dues to the department, I'm getting a
No, you
little
don't pay per capita. You don't pay
aggressive
for
here,
this.
I gotta keep my mouth shut. Go ahead.
Okay. The posts are the grunts. The department are the officers. Now, what does that mean? The work has to be done in the posts. That's where all the work really gets done. The department is there to supervise the posts and see to it that the job gets done. And what is the job? To get more membership, to help veterans that there are, and to disseminate information. Now, we have a way to disseminate information if people want to use it. It's our website. And
Does everybody hear him? I'll bring the microphone over there. I can hear, go ahead.
And it's the website that brings the information. Now, my whole feeling, I've been in this organization 54 years, since 1967. I've been a commander in 2 different departments, post commander in 2 different departments. However, it's the same thing all over. Each department has the same problems. And really, there is no way to really solve it. Why? Because the old joke about Moshe and Shmuel meet each other on the street and say, "Hey, why don't you come to my shul?" And the other guy says, "Why don't you come to my shul?" Well, everybody has their own shul, and then there's this person who goes to this other shul. The way, basically, we're going to get members in this department or any other department is on a one-to-one basis.
Always.
I know somebody, I drag that somebody in. That's the way to do it, and that's basically maybe not the only way, but that's the way to do it. We can talk about this from now till Sunday, next Sunday. It's going to be the same thing. We got to get out there individually, people you know, and drag them in. So far, I've had 5 people in the 13 years that I've been here that I dragged in. Why? Because I got to them, I yelled on them, and I got them in. And that's the way you have to do it. Otherwise, we're whistling Dixie. And my wife had a member who fought in the Confederacy.
I just got a flash from the commander that my time is up, so I have to conclude. All right, so excuse me for interrupting.
Conclude.
I'm not going to conclude. Are you kidding me? Look, I want to ask, so we left Mike to say that the department does this, that, and the other thing. They disseminate information, right? No, that's not the only thing the department does. We paid $1,000. Lou Kelter is probably the only one that remembers. We paid over $1,000 for an exhibit from the Simon Wiesenthal Center, And the department was instrumental in sending it to from Luke to Nellis and all around the world. That's what the department does. The department does more than disseminate information. The department helped create the USO at the airport. The department does more things. Does the department have a publicity chairman? No. Do we need one?
My feeling is the posts need to do that, not the department.
But the department is supposed to do more than have meetings and disseminate information. We pay dues for you to do something. Don't we pay dues to posts?
And he takes a salary.
Why don't you
So
make
we don't
a
have, I'm sorry.
Make a resolution and we can vote on it.
Look, I'm just, you make the resolution. I'm on the microphone. You make the resolution. Or you make the proposal. But not now, under new business, okay? Not now, but on the new business. Mike and I are on the same page. We may disagree about certain things, but we're still on the same page. Anyway, what I want to know, we have, what's the other person? We have a judge advocate? Where is the judge advocate?
Right here.
Where?
Right here.
I'm blind and deaf, so you'll forgive me. I'm not complaining, I'm explaining. So the judge advocate, what do you say about inviting
Politician?
Joe Arpaio? Okay, I know you don't like him, but that's all right. Joe Arpaio to talk about veterans' benefits if he gets elected. What is your position?
If he gets elected,
Hold on. I'm talking to the judge advocate, one at a time, please. I'm asking you, what's your position? You're the judge advocate. Tell us what you think about inviting,
I would consider it.
huh?
He said he would consider it.
Beautiful. That's one person that's finally said he would consider it. What does the word consider mean? I'll think about it. I'll think about it, but I want to do more than think about it. Say, yes, we can invite him to a department meeting. We'll get some publicity out of this. He'll say no, or he'll say yes. He's a veteran himself. And if I'm yelling, I apologize. I want to conclude. I want to say that make that resolution on the new business. We need a publicity chairman. We have a good judge advocate. And we need to do more. One more thing. So at Chabad, the rabbi asked the veterans to stand up. And Lee Katz, Lee, can back me up his wrong way. That a group of veterans stand up, and we were successful. We got one member. We got just a second, Lee. We have one. We got one member, and we have there's a policeman there, Phil Simpson. He's a Phoenix police department Phoenix officer there, and he's a Jewish veteran. So that's why I say you've got to go where the veterans are. We have to go out to them. We want to make. What do we make? We make a kiddush at Chabad, and there's other. The Post used to do it. The Post used to do it. We went to the Academy to Beth Israel. We give them $100 or whatever. They announced that the Jewish war veterans, are looking for members. So with that, I want to conclude. I'm taking up too much time. Any question from me? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This line is yours.
Yeah, mine. All right, moving forward. Old business. We have at least two more speakers for old business. Mel?
Back in March, I sent each of the posts a notice for the per capita, and I'm happy to say that every post has paid their per capita. However, to be eligible to vote at this convention, there were 3 other items that you had to do. You had to send in your 990, you had to send in your financial statement, and you had to show proof of a bond. Also, there's 4 things. And then you had to give us a list of your new officers. At this point, I have not received any of those things except from Post 210. So, and that's the national bylaws, so gentlemen, that's the way it is.
Mel,
Yeah. Did you just see this? That's only the voting strength. That doesn't mean anything. In other words, to vote, you have to do 5 things.
Okay.
And it's in your... Yeah, Nelson.
my 990 cannot go in till November for whatever. And
No,
that
yes.
was the IRS on my neck.
Nelson, what you have to do when you send in your financial statement, which was due on June the 1st, you sent in your last 990, which was your November one. Ours was July of last year. That's what they do, because you can't get a new one until next November. So you have to send in your 990, you have to send in your financial statement, you have to have your list of officers in at the national office on June the 1st. And again, that's all in the national bylaw. And I sent out the letter back in March outlining what you had to do. So at this point,
Each post?
Each post does.
it's up to you to...
Thank you. Did you have something you wanted to bring up, Lou?
Yeah. Just a point of information. At this national convention,
In the microphone, please.
I'm trying to use it. Is this any better? Okay. Just a point of information for this national convention. Every post that wants to have an award consideration for whether it be newsletters, Boy Scouts, or any other thing that the National is giving out awards for, please give that information to Mike immediately. Because the convention is in August. I think it's the second week in August, the 10th through the 14th, no, 14th through the 18th?
No, I think the 10th to the 14th.
10th to the 14th. This is a real long convention this year. 3 days over a weekend, which is ludicrous. Ain't like it used to be. Never. Yeah, it used to be a week. It used to be interesting. They used to have committee meetings that meant something. They don't have them this year. But anyway, that's basically it. Also, just for your information, those that don't know, Magen David in Israel is not matching funds with national if your post go ahead and give a donation. So just an FYI. That's it. SOS.
Short, sweet. Thank you. Moving on, anyone else have old business they want to bring up? Yes, Jonathan.
Michael, I just want to bring up something on the quilts for Valor. For those people that have received them and that will receive them in the future, if you'll turn the quilt over and look on the back, you'll find the quilters' names. You'll find your name on there as well and the date.
Can you repeat what he said?
From Quilts of Valor, if you turn the quilt over, they have the person that sewed the quilt and your name on each individual quilt of Valor. So it's an individual award. Yes?
I want to bring some information about the VA. And that is that there is one benefit that is overlooked by, I would say, 99% of the veterans. And that's for assistance. And they give you if you qualify, you get around $2,200–2,300 a month more. And it has nothing to do with the fact that you were injured in the service. This is strictly a benefit that you're a veteran and you need assistance. You are disabled. There's criteria on it. The criteria basically is if you're really, truly 100% disabled, where your wife has to take care of you, or they got to bring in a nurse to take care of you, and you can't dress yourself, and you can't do anything except maybe blow your nose, because you can pick up your hands and put it to your nose, I guess.
This is
But
from the Federal Veterans
It's the
Administration, not the
veterans,
state.
it's the no, this is national.
Aid and attendance.
It's aid and
There's a
attendance.
financial limitation on their dues, so if you have so much money coming in, you can't get it, so.
Well, the thing is this much, basically, most of us have Social Security that's coming in, and that doesn't prevent you from qualifying.
Social Security doesn't take, but if you get a pension, or if you get
Yeah, well,
income coming in.
look, if you're a multimillionaire, what do you need it for, you know? But the point is, it's one benefit that we generally overlook that we don't know about. And really, a few of us are in that stage that they have to have the aid and attendance.
You have to have been able to serve at least one day that there was combat.
No.
One
Well,
day in combat.
Jewish war veterans,
Well,
you got it.
yeah.
Look, why don't you see your national service officer? We should have a service officer,
Absolutely.
department in each post.
There is no national service officer in Arizona.
Well, there are two that are retired, you and me.
Yeah, I know.
Come on, let's be honest.
Even the national service officer is got to be found.
Murray.
Just as a point of information on publicity, there's two things that went on in the past month in the Tucson area and Fort Huachuca. Fort Huachuca on April 9th, what's it on? April 9th, they had the Days of Remembrance. 4 members from our post in uniform represented us at Fort Huachuca for the Days of Remembrance. Davis Mountain Air Force Base, and it was also in the base newspaper, because I am the Jewish lay leader for Davis Mountain Air Force Base, certified, by the way.
I forgot to bring that up. Thank you for
He's
mentioning
talking
it.
to you. The rest of us can't hear in the back here.
I can hear you fine.
So I can't.
One of them hold up.
Look, he's talking with his back to us. The commander's not talking.
Talking about publicity, back in Days of Remembrance, Fort Huachuca, 4 members of our post attended that service out in Fort Huachuca. And we have the pictures on it. Matter of fact, a copy of the bullet, I think, was also sent to National. I am the certified Jewish lay leader for Davis Mountain Air Force Base and participated in their Days of Remembrance. And that was also listed in the Desert Lightning News. So we are getting some publicity somewhere, letting them know that we're around.
And the active duty people see that it is so important, when we very much thank you. All right, yes,
Just a question. Is the department involved at all, I know it's very early, in the formation of a Fisher House in the Phoenix area?
no, the Jewish war veterans are not involved with Fisher House at this time, the department. Is there any other old business we can bring up at this time? I would like to move to new business. We have several things, but the first thing we're going to do is elections. Let me read the names of the nominated new officers. Michael Chambers, Commander. Senior Vice Commander, Murray Baker. Judge Advocate, Jesse Gersten. Quartermaster, Jonathan Sorrell. National Executive Committee, Lou Kelter. Are there any nominations for any positions? Are there any nominations for commander? Seeing none, we'll move on. Are there any nominations for, yes?
To say it 3 times. 3 times.
Are there any nominations for commander?
Twice.
Are there any new nominations for commander? You want to do it?
Guys, the installation.
All right, I'm turning this over to our installation officer.
I'm sorry, but if you're following protocol. Okay, for department commander nominations. Michael Chambers, is there anybody to be nominated from the floor? Anybody to be nominated from the floor? Anybody to be nominated from the floor? Do I hear a proclamation for closing it?
Close.
Okay,
Good man.
all in favor?
Wait a minute, we were just disenfranchised.
Forget it, we're waiving that for this one.
Waving and waving. You can't
Just
wave.
put your hand up and wave, okay?
It's a
Mike,
temporary.
congratulations.
You can't wave it.
For senior vice commander, we've nominated Murray Baker. Do we hear any? No, please. Do we have any other nominations from the floor? Any other nominations from the floor for senior vice commander? Third and last time. Any nominations from the floor? Do I hear a proclamation of unanimity? Anybody? Jesse? Jesse? By acclamation, I hear a second? No. Okay, we have it. Congratulations, Murray.
Thank you.
Okay, for junior vice commander, Lenore Katz. Any nominations from the floor? Any nominations from the floor? Twice? Third and final time. Any nominations from the floor? Do I hear a declaration for unanimity? Jesse?
Stephen.
Stephen. Lenore? Congratulations and condolences.
Point of information.
Yes.
Those who are voting and those who are being elected have their post met the qualifications that are required by the national constitution before they can vote.
They have all met the qualifications.
They've
for
all sent
nominating-
in their 990s, they've all sent in their financial statements. You're attesting to this now?
No, I'm attesting that they had done it in the past.
But this is not the past, it has to be,
When
it
they
had to
were-
be by
when
June
they
the
were
1st.
Nominated by the nominating
There's only
committee,
one vote.
they were qualified.
No, there's only, no. In order to vote at a department convention, you have to meet the 5 requirements.
I had put this out from the
That
department
doesn't mean,
voting
that's only the
strength.
voting
This-
strength based on membership. In order to vote at a department,
This I received this month.
doesn't mean a thing. That's only the voting strength per their membership. That comes from the membership committee. In order to vote at a department convention, go get your constitution. In order to vote at a
The
department
national
convention.
bylaws state that every council district and department must hold an annual convention.
Yeah,
Voting strength for all conventions are determined by the most recent per capita refund.
that's correct. That has
For
nothing to do.
details,
that is-
review the national convention.
That has
Articles-
nothing to do with
The
eligibility
Department
to
of
vote.
the Southwest Convention date, June 10th. This states their voting strength.
That doesn't-
As of June 10th, 2018, this is the data we follow.
That doesn't mean anything. In other words, read your constitution. In other words, to vote at a department convention, you have to have your 990 in, you have to have your financial statement in, you have to have all the 5 things that I outlined.
But you didn't get them.
Nelson?
Our department constitution does not state anything about it. This is national. Now, there is a little catch-all in there that we have to be in concert with the national. Post 194 has had the 990 filed. They have insurance through the national insurance. The post financial has been filed, and what was the other one that needs to be?
You had to have your bond.
That's been,
Your bond, your liability insurance, and the
yeah,
990.
it's all been done.
You had to have your 990, your bond, your financial statement, you had to pay your per capita, and there's one other, what was it, the fifth one I mentioned it before.
Are you sure you have the latest from May I make a suggestion at this point? 619, Commander, please stand. To the best of your knowledge, has everything been fulfilled?
Yes.
Thank you. 210,
210, I'm representing 210. Everything has been filed.
Well, it's not finished.
pardon?
It's not
It's
finished.
in process.
It's in process, okay.
In process.
194,
Yeah, everything's been done. No?
Yeah, he just said
everything
it's
is
done.
okay, so that answer, we'll take their words. We can't call them liars unless you want to. No, Jerry, not now. What?
I'm just saying proof of it had to be sent to the department.
There are two people talking, excuse me.
Hold on. To answer Mel's question, to see the proof, we're gonna take their words. Their word is their bond, okay? We're not gonna call them liars, at least I'm not. Does anybody have an objection?
No.
Okay, let's move on with the elections and the process. Am I wrong, Jesse? You judge it.
I agree.
Okay. Going on with the elections. Going on with the elections. Quartermaster Jonathan Sorrell, that's not an elected position, that's a nominated position or appointed position. Judge Advocate is, we have Jesse Gersten as the nominee. Do we hear any nominations from the floor? Any nominations from the floor? Any nominations from the floor? Call the question. Being none, I call the question. Do we have any? By acclamation, Stephen seconds it. Jesse, congratulations. Quartermaster, of course, is appointed, Jonathan Sorrell. NEC is elected. Lou Kelter is nominated. Do we have any additional?
The adjutant, you didn't mention.
Do we have
the-
any additional?
You didn't mention the adjutant, was that it's appointed, but.
Appointed, there is nobody.
There is nobody.
Would somebody like, well, anyway, let's get on with NEC first. Would anybody like to nominate from the floor an NEC person? Anybody like to nominate an NEC person? Third and last call, NEC?
Oh, you're already on there.
Okay.
Make a motion that it be nominated on that.
Do I hear a second? We got a second from Stephen. I don't know if I should congratulate myself or give myself condolences.
You can have condolences.
Yeah. Okay. We have opening for adjutant.
Adjutant's appointed.
I know it's appointed, but who would like to volunteer? Because nobody has stepped up yet, and we've asked different people.
It's an important job.
Yes? Mort?
I can't do it. I don't have to take
It's not that important.
I'm too old.
Okay. Other than that,
By acclamation, the officers are.
by acclamation, the officers are elected. Can I have the officer today please come to the floor? No. I'm gonna make it real quick. Okay. Hello? No, that's not what you're gonna be doing. Would all the past officers, appointees, please come to the floor?
Past officers.
Stand over there. Commander, would you please go up there also?
Where are you going?
And if-
Right there is very good.
because some of us are not able or mobile, we'll just do it this way.
Now this is, this,
We're just charging everybody. Salute you all. Thank you very much for your service for the past year. You are all dismissed. You can all go back to your seats, or you can stay. All you people who are going to be officers for the following year, please come to the floor. Okay, I'm going to make this, no, I'll just do this short and sweet. I'm going to make it short and sweet. Would you raise your right hands, please? On behalf of the national organization, shush. Like I said, this will be short and sweet. Just say aye, and you state your name.
I, Murray Harris,
Do faithfully swear
do faithfully swear
that I will fulfill the duties and obligations
will fulfill the duties and obligations
that I have been invested to
that I have been invested to
partake in
partake in
and carry out.
and carry out.
I thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations to all of you. So you have a healthy and a happy and a prosperous new year.
Festive Kwanzaa.
No, that's the income. This is the income. Like I said, it's short and sweet.
Now, while I still have everyone's attention before everyone leaves, we have, is there any other new business to bring up? We have to talk about our next meeting. On the papers in front of you, I had written down September 2nd, the first Sunday in September. The second Sunday in September is Arab Rosh Hashanah. The 9th is Arab Rosh Hashanah. That would be extremely inconvenient for some people to attend a meeting. We could either have it September 2nd or October 14th, the traditional second week of the month. So I would like feedback from the membership.
Make it October 14th.
Yeah, it's available.
The October meeting, because it
May I
doesn't
ask a
conflict.
question?
Yes.
I would say after the holidays.
September 1st is the slip off. Sunday the 2nd, there is no yuntif. I'm looking at the Jewish calendar right now for my congregation, and I have it on the calendar. Arab Rosh Hashanah is Sunday, September 9th.
That's why we will not have the meeting on the daytime of Sunday.
Hey, Mike, why can't you have it on Labor Day?
Who's going to show up?
Why not?
I'm not going to be here.
Yes, we should. Why can't you have it on the second year rather than before?
That'll be under the 3.
October.
There's 3.
There's 3, so break it down with the, every 3 months, every 4 months. Let the board decide.
All right, I would, instead of, is this, can you still hear me?
Yes.
All right, I didn't know if I turned it off or on.
Make it October.
October 14th, 2018 will be the date for our next meeting. At 10 o'clock. Now, Post 201 in Tucson is slated to be the host. Is there a problem with that, with holding the meeting in Tucson on Sunday, October 14th?
We're meeting in Tucson.
I just asked, is there a problem with that?
Not as long as you're driving, no.
10 a.m. Is that okay, Murray?
Yeah, I'll see if I can get a place for it.
Ken, you got a group of us going down there, can't you ask them to come a neutral point like this and pay them for transportation costs?
Commander,
That make makes a little sense.
They come up here twice a year anyhow.
They're
They come
coming
here.
up here.
Yes, Marty.
No, he said.
May I make a suggestion?
Yeah, but the Tucson-
Get up, I can't see you.
I know, because this is a recommendation, I know that it's a long schlep for a lot of people going up to Tucson, which is a problem. My other suggestion, if you want to consider it, is having the meeting here, and if someone could supply the food, we will write a check to cover the food for the department meeting. If that would make things a lot simpler for a lot of people, and it's a long schlep for an hour's meeting all the way out, all the way down to either the,
I would agree with that
If you don't mind, we'll do it here. It's-
that would actually be a lot better for us.
All right.
That's very kind.
So we will hold the meeting here. All right, is that acceptable, Jerry?
Yes, that's very good for them.
And then someone just take care of the food and everything, we'll write a check to the department,
Okay.
or whoever it is.
Is there any other,
Hey, Mike, I don't know if
Yes.
you need a motion to appoint a
publicity? Are you talking about a publicity chairman for the department?
You brought it up, he said we need a publicity chairman.
No,
You want to make a resolution, huh?
Jerry Beck, you were the one that brought the subject up. If you are willing to assume the chairmanship of that committee, you are appointed chairman of the publicity committee for the Department of the Southwest. I thank you very much for volunteering, Jerry. Officer of the day. Officer of the day. Officer of the day, can you please close the altar?
Thank you.
We still have some bagel and lox. It looks like there's some fruit left. So please, help yourself.
It makes it a lot easier.
Chaplain, can you please read the closing prayer? We all please rise if possible.
Dear Lord, as we conclude our meeting, we ask you to bless us and help us to be gracious in word and deed to others. May it be your will to cause love and harmony, peace and friendship to abide among us. Imbue in us a reverence for you. Strengthen our impulse to do good. May you give us strength, hope, and vision, and may we all soon be blessed in a world at peace. Amen. Amen. Just a short prayer for Israel. Let us always remember in our hearts and minds the brave state of Israel and the Jewish souls that dwell therein. Please grant them the wisdom to accomplish peace in their time, freedom from fear, and everlasting faith in themselves, and the haven they have founded, and the strength to preserve it for all time.
Amen.
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 Salute the colors. 2.